What if the toy sitting quietly in the corner wasn't just a toy at all? Across different countries and cultures, there are dolls so deeply feared that owners have locked them away behind glass, called priests to bless them, or refused to keep them in their homes entirely. Across different countries and cultures, there are dolls so deeply feared that owners have locked them away behind glass, called priests to bless them, or refused to keep them in their homes entirely. These aren't just campfire stories whispered for fun. Many of these cases come with witness accounts, museum records, and decades of chilling testimony. Some dolls are said to move when no one is watching. Others allegedly whisper, change positions, or bring terrifying bad luck to anyone who disrespects them. Skeptics say it's coincidence and imagination. Believers insist something far darker is involved. Tonight, we're traveling across the globe to uncover the most disturbing haunted dolls ever reported. As you watch, remember, sometimes the most harmless-looking objects hide the creepiest legends. So dim the lights, put on your headphones, and let's begin. Letta the Doll. At first glance, Letta doesn't look like something that should scare anyone. In fact, he appears almost gentle, which is exactly what makes him so unsettling. Discovered in Australia by paranormal collector Kerry Walton, Letta was reportedly found abandoned in the remains of a burned building. What immediately disturbed Walton was how lifelike the doll appeared, with what looks like real human hair and incredibly realistic skin. Over time, Walton began claiming the doll didn't always stay where he left it. Visitors to Walton's collection have reported feeling watched the moment they enter the room where Letta sits. Some swear the doll's facial expression seems slightly different in photographs taken at different times. Others claim Letta's eyes appear to follow them across the room. Walton himself has stated he never keeps the doll stored away for too long, as strange activity reportedly increases when Letta is ignored. Whether psychological illusion or something far stranger, Letta has quietly built one of the creepiest reputations among modern haunted objects. Mandy the Doll. Mandy may look like an ordinary antique doll, but staff at the Quesnel and District Museum and Archives say her presence has never been ordinary. The doll was donated to the museum in 1991 by a woman who claimed she could no longer tolerate the strange events happening in her home. According to reports, she frequently heard a baby crying at night that seemed to come from the doll. After Mandy arrived at the museum, employees began noticing unusual disturbances. Footsteps were reportedly heard in empty rooms. Office equipment near Mandy's display would malfunction without explanation. Some workers even refused to be alone in the same room as the doll. Visitors have claimed their cameras and phones occasionally fail when pointed directly at Mandy. Eventually, the museum placed her in a separate case after concerns she was interfering with nearby exhibits. To this day, Mandy remains one of the museum's most talked about and cautiously handled objects. Okiku. In Japan, one of the most famous paranormal artifacts is a small traditional doll with a very unsettling claim. Its hair appears to grow like a living child's. Known as Okiku, the doll has been kept for decades at Manenji Temple in Hokkaido. The story dates back to 1918, when a young boy purchased the doll for his little sister, Okiku. After the girl suddenly passed away from illness, the grieving family placed the doll on their household altar. But soon they noticed something deeply disturbing. The doll's hair, originally cut short in a neat bob, appeared to be getting longer over time. Priests later examined the doll and reportedly confirmed the hair continued to grow despite being trimmed. Some believe the spirit of the young girl now resides within the doll. Visitors who come to view Okiku often describe an uncomfortable heaviness in the air and an eerie silence around the display. Whether supernatural or unexplained natural phenomenon, Okiku remains one of Japan's most chilling and mysterious haunted dolls. The Island of the Dolls. Deep within the canals of Xochimilco, Mexico, lies one of the creepiest places on Earth, an island covered in hundreds of decaying dolls. The location became infamous after caretaker Don Julian Santana Barrera claimed he was haunted by the spirit of a drowned girl. In an attempt to appease the spirit, he began hanging dolls from trees across the island. Over time, the collection grew into a nightmarish landscape of broken faces and tangled limbs. Visitors today frequently report hearing whispers, footsteps, or seeing dolls slightly move in the windless air, soft, unintelligible whisper textures in background. Some claim they feel an overwhelming urge to leave shortly after arriving. The eerie silence combined with the disturbing visuals has made the island a global paranormal hotspot. Whether psychological or supernatural, the Island of the Dolls is widely considered one of the most unsettling locations in the world. Robert the Doll. Few haunted dolls have a reputation as strong, or as well documented, as Robert. Originally owned by artist Robert Eugene Otto, the doll quickly became the center of disturbing events inside the family home. According to Otto's relatives, furniture would mysteriously move, toys would be found scattered overnight, and strange giggling sounds were sometimes heard from empty rooms. Young Robert reportedly blamed the doll whenever something went wrong, insisting, "Robert did it." Today, the doll is displayed at the Fort East Martello Museum, where strict rules are posted for visitors. Guests are warned to ask permission before photographing Robert. Surprisingly, the museum has received numerous apology letters from visitors who claim they experienced bad luck after ignoring the rule. Staff members have also noted subtle changes in the doll's posture over time. Whether coincidence or something unexplained, Robert's legend continues to grow stronger every year. Annabelle. Unlike many creepy porcelain dolls, Annabelle appears harmless at first, just a soft Raggedy Ann toy. But paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren claim the doll was responsible for some of the most violent supernatural activity they ever documented. According to their investigation in the 1970s, the doll allegedly moved between rooms, left handwritten notes, and even physically attacked a visitor. Convinced something dark was attached to it, the Warrens placed Annabelle inside a specially blessed glass case at the Warrens Occult Museum. A warning sign famously reads, "Positively do not open." Over the years, the doll inspired the horror film Annabelle, but many paranormal enthusiasts believe the real story is far more disturbing than the movie. Even today, visitors often report feeling uneasy standing near the case. Whether you believe the Warrens or not, Annabelle remains one of the most feared, haunted dolls in modern paranormal history. Joliet the Doll. Joliet's story is less widely known, but many paranormal collectors consider her one of the most quietly disturbing cases. Originally owned by a young girl in the early 1900s, the doll reportedly became associated with severe nightmares and sudden personality changes in the child. Family members claimed the girl began refusing to sleep in her room, insisting the doll was watching her. Eventually, the doll was stored away in the attic, but the strange disturbances reportedly continued. Unexplained noises were heard above the ceiling late at night, even when no one was upstairs. Over the years, Joliet passed through multiple owners, many of whom reported similar feelings of unease. What makes this case particularly chilling is the consistency of the experiences despite different environments and families. Today, Joliet remains under careful observation by paranormal collectors who prefer not to leave her unattended for long periods. The Devil Baby Doll. At number 1 is a case wrapped heavily in urban legend and persistent fear. The Devil Baby Doll. Unlike some entries backed by museums, this story spread primarily through repeated witness claims and folklore. Multiple owners over the years reportedly connected the doll to unexplained disturbances, sudden feelings of dread, and strange household events. What makes this legend particularly chilling is how it has survived across decades despite limited physical evidence. Paranormal researchers often note that stories which refuse to fade sometimes carry the strongest psychological impact. Whether the Devil Baby Doll is truly haunted or simply the center of an enduring myth, one thing is certain: its reputation has frightened people for generations. Peggy the Doll. This seemingly innocent plaything has a dark reputation that precedes it. Peggy is one of the rare haunted dolls whose legend spread primarily through the internet age. becoming a viral sensation in paranormal circles. Paranormal investigator Jane Harris first brought the doll to public attention. She claimed people began reporting physical symptoms simply from looking at Peggy's photograph online. Viewers allegedly experienced nausea, headaches, chest tightness, and intense anxiety. When Peggy appeared on television, the phenomenon escalated. Investigators reported receiving messages from viewers who said they felt suddenly unwell during the broadcast. Skeptics argue this could be mass suggestion or the nocebo effect, where negative expectations cause negative symptoms. However, believers point out how widespread and consistent the reports were, coming from people all over the world. Peggy herself appears fairly ordinary, which many say makes the story even more disturbing.
Pupa the Doll. Pupa is kept locked inside a wooden box in Italy, and according to her owner, there's a very good reason for that. The doll reportedly changes facial expressions and shifts position when no one is watching. The family who owns Pupa has claimed the box is sometimes found slightly open, despite being carefully sealed. Some witnesses say the doll's face appears subtly different in photographs taken years apart. What makes Pupa especially eerie is her completely innocent appearance. Blonde hair, soft features, and the look of a normal vintage toy. Paranormal enthusiasts who have studied the case often mention the same unsettling detail, an overwhelming sense of discomfort when standing near the box. Whether psychological tension or something unexplained, Pupa continues to quietly build one of the creepiest reputations in Europe.